and welcome back for another week of Active and Healthy with Gina. And we had such fun at Nadia's last week that we just stayed put. We're enjoying this beautiful home and we're enjoying Nadia's hospitality. I've still got Sabah with me and we're going to do some fresh exercises, 5 new ones today, starting with some counting. So, hope you're ready to go. 4s and 8s, I don't make it too difficult for us. Let's get counting with one hand and tapping. We're going to go to 4 to begin with. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Change sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this side, we're going to clap on the 4. So, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time, we're going to take the foot out on the 4. So, 4's going out, and we're changing sides. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Out on the 4. Very good. Other side. 1, 2, 3. 4's going out. Last time we're going out on this side and 4 is out. This time we're still counting on the 4s, but we're going to take the foot forward on the 4. Forward. And other side. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Forward. Quicker. 1, 2, 3. Forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now both hands together. 1, 2, 3. We're going to clap side to side on the 4. 2. Other side now on the 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. And we're going to go forward this time. 2, 3. Clap forward. 1, 2, 3. Clap forward. 1. And we're going to go up. 1, 2, 3. Here we are. Just some very simple counting patterns, but it helps your ability to react and respond very quickly. Okay, a little bit of orchestra. Everybody get your guitar. Come on, rock. Oh, yeah. Sabah's in the rock band already. Come on, shake your heads. What kind of, whose rocking band are we going to be? Who do you like?
Bon Jovi.
Oh, Bon Jovi. We're Bon Jovi's rocking band. Hope you like Bon Jovi at home. That's all I can say. Change hands. We're ambidextrous musicians. We like to show off, you see. I can do it just as well on the second side. Okay, Sabah, what's your drum kitting like? Let's get the drum kit. Round we go. Oh, nice, Nadia. Round we go on the drum. All right, got to hit the cymbals. Okay, we're going to look a little cool. So you're just going to cross your hands and just tap the drum kit on one side here. Tap your head. You got your dark glasses on. You're looking really smooth. And let's change sides. Very good. What other instruments can we use?
Trumpet.
Trumpet. Oh yeah. I'm the trumpet. Blowing rude noses. I think that's a trombone I'm using over here. My hand seems to be going in and out. Okay, trumpet is like this. Just shows I don't know.
Yeah.
Change hands. You've got to do it with both hands, you see. Quick cymbals. Cha. There we are. I think Bon Jovi would fire us personally, but maybe we'd be glamorous, what can I say? Okay, so let's go. We're going to be shaking these arms right now. All right, shaking the arms behind us and in front of us. That's in front, Gina, and that's behind. You see my mouth and brain are struggling to keep up with myself here. All right, now we're going to keep one arm down and the other arm's coming up. Just keep them, shake, 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 shake. Change again, shake, 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 shake. That's good. Both hands in front of your face. Shake, shake, shake. Now we can do a regal wave as if it's the Queen now. Prince Harry and what's the young lady's name? Meghan, yes. She's getting married in my hometown of Windsor. It's where I spent the first 18 years of my life. And the other hand. All right, we're going to bring the arms down beside us. We're going to bring these shoulders up, the shrug, and down. Up and down. Bring the shoulders up. Nice, Nadia. Up we go. Up, down. Now, we're going to walk these bottoms back in the chair. And we're going to take one leg out and just shake it quite energetically so the whole leg's vibrating. Oh, yes. Releases tension in the joints and in the muscles. Lovely. Other foot. Oh. If you make noise with it, then you really know you're working. Gotta home watching, but later we'll be doing it with you. Okay, grab one leg and just shake it up and down. Grab the other leg, shake it up and down. I tell you, some of these bits of music are too short. I'm just getting into the swing of things. There we are, giving the body a little shake. Now the next one, sit forward, so we're going to be able to stretch our hands. We're going to go up, tap, down, tap, up. So these are just little up and down movements. It doesn't have to be a deep one, but it's just enough to get that heart rate going a little harder. Good for the circulation. Now this time, I want you to tap your knees, stretch way up. Tap your knees and stretch all the way down. And a little quicker, tap, up, tap, down, tap, up, tap, down, tap, up, tap, down, tap, up, tap, tap. Last one up, woo. Last one down. Right, now I want you to tap your knees. We're going to lift a leg and clap underneath. So it's a tap, lift and clap. So, I will just tap the side of it. If you're not able to get right underneath, we're just tapping the side is good. Even if you're just tapping it, bringing it up and tapping it a little, or underneath if you can. Ooh, ow, ooh, you feel that in your hip? I do. Do you at home? Change sides. So tap, lift, and a little clap underneath. Woo, up. Very good. Thank you. Oh, oh. Now hands tap 2 on your knees and go 2 to one side, down, tap, 2, stretch down for 2, tap, 2, stretch down for 2 that side, tap, 2, down, 2. Very good. Almost there. And then we're going to finish up with some nice stretches at the end. And tapping and pushing forward. 1, 2. Tap it here, reach forward for 2. Tap, reach forward. 1, 2. Now, that last one up. Ooh, phew. All right, now our very, very last exercise is just going to be doing some nice, gentle stretches. So this one's very, very easy. We're going to start with one hand on our waist. Other hand is going to go up in the air. We're just bending to the waist side. So it's about getting a stretch and just holding it. Lovely. We're going to take the hands round. Other hand on the waist, other arm up, and let's bend this way. Ooh. So just go as far as your body will allow you to go. Lovely. Now, both arms down by your side. Let's take both arms up together. And we're going to clasp the hands together. We're going to turn them inside out and look up to the ceiling. And then we bring the hands down in front of the face so you're stretching out the shoulders, holding that as a nice big stretch. And we're going to let the arms go. We're just going to stretch them behind us. Ooh, feels good. Lovely. Now for the next one, we're just going to hold our leg where we can. If we can just hold it on the knee. So you're just trying to hold it towards you. You've got to circle the ankle. So we're just letting the ankle relax. Change direction with it. Now just so that you can go a little stretch in your hip flexor and your groin, I just want you to cross your legs. So just the knees, that's right. And then try holding them open as much as is comfortable. Very good. Almost there. Let's just finish up on that other leg. Lift it up wherever's comfortable. Hold it and just roll that ankle round. And the other side. Lovely. Let's cross those ankles. So we're just finishing up with our exercises. I hope you've enjoyed your 10 minutes of Ageless Grace today. Nadia, thank you so much for your hospitality. Did you enjoy that? Love it. Fantastic. Sabah, did you enjoy that?
Thank you very much.
Sabah teaches Zumba, so this is a bit different from us, but I think she enjoyed it all the same.
I did.
So that's great. Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you for being with us. And we're going to look forward to seeing you for the interview for the second half of the show, and wishing you a great day. and welcome back to the second half of Active and Healthy with Gina. I hope you enjoyed your exercises and that you're now ready to enjoy our interview of the day. I'm delighted today to have a special guest. I have Sharleen Haupt with me from the Life Matters Foundation, and we're going to find out all about the wonderful work that they do. So Sharleen, lovely to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. And what I always like to do, just as we get started, so that the viewers have a sense of who you are and what your background is that led you to do the work that you now do. Just please tell me a little bit about you, because I think I hear the accent like mine sounds a little foreign. So.
Indeed, yes. So as you can hear, I'm an American. I have, however, lived in South Africa since 1992. My husband is South African, and I met him while he was studying in the United States. And we came back to South Africa, and I just fell in love with this country. I am an educator, and I have a foundation phase qualification from the United States. However, after a number of years here in South Africa and raising children, I decided it was time to get a little bit more education, and so I went back and got my master's in language and literacy from UCT. But yeah, basically born and raised in the US, but spent just as much time here in South Africa as a Cape Townian as I have in the United States, and I love South Africa.
Well, you sound like a woman after my own heart. I came in '91, fell in love with South Africa, absolutely, and this is home.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, when Africa gets in your heart, that's really it. So I understand that. So wonderful. So your background when you were in America was as a teacher?
That's correct, yes.
Fantastic. So, and I know that really is the area that you have taken up to really help make a contribution here. So this wonderful foundation, Life Matters, can you tell us now a little bit about what they do?
Sure. So the Life Matters Foundation was started in about 2005. It started originally as a ministry of a church. We are, however, now a separate nonprofit organization, and we are involved in underprivileged schools. And we have two arms to what we do. There's an academic portfolio, and that's what I'm involved in heavily, and that's to help children from underperforming schools to get some of the one-on-one help they need with both maths and with literacy, reading. There's also, however, the life skills portfolio, and one doesn't want to underestimate the value of that. The life skills portfolio actually provides qualified counselors to schools where there aren't these resources, so that children that are dealing with trauma can obviously have some help getting through that. We have a teenage awareness program which helps kids in grade 6 and grade 7 prepare for the challenges that they're going to face. And I think often the challenges that children from under-resourced communities are facing, they're actually a little bit different in some cases than children from other communities. So we can specialize this teenage awareness program. In what kind of ways?
Can you give us an example?
I think that, you know, if you're from an underprivileged community, I think there's probably a lot more gang activity that you have to find your way and navigate around and find out, how can I live in a community where this is happening and stay safe and keep pursuing my goals, whether that's, you know, staying in school or getting a job, whatever it is. So things like that, you know, the violence in communities that people are often dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Many of us don't understand that. I don't even understand it myself. But so we tailor-make this teenage awareness program according to the school. And the nice thing is that some of the better off, more advantaged schools will actually pay for the program, and in the process they actually then fund the program to happen in one of our under-resourced schools. So it's kind of a partnership where a school like St. Cyprian's or Rondebosch Boys will pay us to give this program to their learners, and it's all about the life skills portfolio, and then we will then use the funds from that to give the program to one of our under-resourced schools. So that's it.
That's a great program. Sounds like you could maybe get some more schools to be able to help you and partner with you on that. So
yes, and I think the need is actually massive. We've had a number of schools inquiring about this program, and yeah, it's certainly something where there's a huge need for it. We also do a grade 7 camp with the learners, so that children that are in grade 7 have some skills, some motivational talks to help them to keep at it and stay in school, because we have a huge dropout rate in the communities we serve, and we really want to encourage kids to stay in school and be educated so that they can pursue their dreams.
And I know we were talking earlier on about how important it really is at a foundation level that they all learn to read properly.
Yes, you know, last year in December, the PEARLS results came out, and that stands for the Progress in Literacy Study. And that's an international study which assesses the reading ability of children from 50 countries. And sadly, South Africa came 50th out of 50 countries.
That's not a good place.
It's not a good place. And I think we're probably not surprised by that because we work in schools where literacy is a big challenge. And, poverty actually is the biggest indicator in terms of the danger or putting you at risk to struggle with literacy, because poverty has all these other effects. And, you're not going to be able to learn to read if you're not always raised in an environment where there's a lot of print, a lot of things to read, where people are reading as an example. All these things influence that. So, yeah, South Africa really is struggling because there is a lot of poverty, and there's, a lot of schools that are underperforming. And our goal as an organization is actually to just say to people in the communities, why don't you come along and help us? We provide full training, but we actually want to help kids in the foundation phase, so grade 2 and 3 learners. We train volunteers to work with them and give them help on their issues in math and science. And it's a very easy to follow program, very basic, but we just need people to come and get involved and sit with these kids and take it at their pace.
That's how I first heard about you, because one of the ladies who comes to my Ageless Grace class is a volunteer for your program.
Yes.
And it followed on very well from last week's talk, when the guest that I had, who talk about the different challenges in retirement and spoke about finding a new purpose, and spoke of the value of volunteering. So it just seemed great that you and I were having the opportunity to talk this week. And I know I'd love to be able to encourage the viewers to know that they could help contribute to you. Yes, they can always donate and contribute to the foundation through that way, but donating time to these, as you said, these very needy learners who just need to be able to help supported through that literacy and numeracy program. So maybe you can touch a little bit on what the volunteers do in the way of helping the youngsters.
Okay, so just to say, first of all, we do have a lot of retired volunteers, and I just want to encourage the listeners to understand that we absolutely love our retired volunteers, and the children love them too. Anybody that comes regularly and spends time with these children, that's all it takes to just get their love and their support. They are just so amazed that you're there every week. And you as a volunteer will be trained with the literacy program. You do 4 activities, and we have staff on site all the time. So you're never there alone. You're supported as a volunteer. There's a qualified staff member on site that helps. But basically, volunteers in the literacy program, they're reading to children, they're reading with children, they're helping children to play some phonics-based games, and they're doing a basic writing activity. And these are actually all research-based things that help children, particularly children from environments where there was maybe not a lot of literacy stimulation. It helps children to catch up. So these are catch-up programs, but the point is that you as a volunteer are the one that's able to start to get to know that child. You develop a relationship with that child. And when a child is in a safe relationship with an adult, where they feel there's no threat, you're not going to get angry with them if they don't remember something, that's when learning takes place. Because when you're working one-on-one or 2 children per 1 volunteer, that volunteer can take the time to say, they didn't really catch this last week. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again, and we're going to maybe do it in a fun way, but try and help the child to just get where they need to be. And they don't have to worry about all the other children in the class. You're just dealing with that 1 or 2 children, and so it really makes it special.
That's wonderful.
With our numeracy program, it's basically the same thing. I've actually got a copy of the manual that we've just created a few years, actually last year. It was just hot off the press. And it's games. It's basically games that adults take the children through, and it actually has every detail that a volunteer would need to know.
So you don't have to be good at numbers yourself to be able to follow the book.
Even I can,
because
follow
I'm not.
this.
So.
Thankfully, it's actually mostly grade 1 and 2 work, just a little bit of grade 3.
I should be okay.
No,
I can't promise.
That's exactly what I said.
Just checking.
But all what you're wanting to do, your aims, what materials you need, what vocabulary do we use, how do I play this game, how do I interact it, all that's there.
Wonderful.
And it's meant to be in a really handy one kind of guide thing, so that volunteers really can just help kids to practice the things they need to get a solid numeracy foundation. Because we often find that when kids fall behind in school, their foundations are weak, and then each year they get further and further behind because they missed what was, the foundational concepts they needed.
And with numbers, if you don't understand the basics, it becomes very, very hard to catch up. And more importantly, when you get out into the world, and even something as basic as getting your change at the supermarket, if you don't know what's coming in and what's going out, then it's a challenge.
Yeah.
So this wonderful work that you're doing. Now, I know when you were talking about volunteers, the one thing you could do is with more retired men, you said, because they have so little male role models.
Absolutely, yes. So we take anybody that can read and write English, has a basic mathematical foundation, and they do also have to be willing to have a police clearance. I should mention that. It's important that we protect the children that we learn, we work with.
Very good.
But otherwise, anybody can come and volunteer, and there is such a need for positive male role models. I'm not saying there are none, but I think there are many, often fewer for the young boys that we're working with. There are many homes where there are no father figures or where the father figures are absent. And so we just find that when the men come along, these kids love it. And we will often pair the men with young boys because these young boys really do love having that one-on-one attention from a man. And I mean, men from business experiences, men from backgrounds in, anything. You could have been a manual laborer. We've got many people from the communities that we serve that actually come in and help, whether you have a professional background or anything, you can actually come and just get involved and help our learners.
Fantastic. So it makes no difference. You don't have to have been a teacher. You don't have to have had any experience. You teach everybody exactly what you need to do. You're there to guide them. It can be from as little as 1 hour a week, I think you said, to get started with.
That's absolutely
So it's not as if we're asking someone to kind of sign up for a full working week. It literally is starting small. But it sounds like such a wonderful contribution. I think it's something I'd love to come and look at doing with you as well. I think it's the Life Matters Foundation. We need to be able to get the word out. We need to be able to find more volunteers for you. Now, the schools are where, so people know which area we are specifically dealing with.
Sure. Well, we're actually based at the moment in schools in Retreat, schools in Freyfrond, which is Capricorn, schools in Westlake, and schools in the Steenberg area. So we're southern suburbs based at the moment. We always have requests to move into additional schools. I mean, it's all about funding. Sadly, we can't be in hundreds of schools unless we have the funding.
Right.
There's a massive need, but those are the areas we're in at the moment. And when volunteers come, I think it's quite important that they understand that they can park inside the school gates. They don't need to be worried that they're going to be unsafe, their cars are going to be unsafe. We make sure that all our volunteers are well cared for. We obviously say things like, use your common sense. If you're going to drive into the area, keep your doors locked, that kind of stuff. But otherwise, you're parking inside the school premises, and you're a guest of the Life Matters Foundation. When you're there, we actually have a room that is assigned to us. So
Fantastic.
You'll be going to the same space every week. And as I said, there's staff on site that are there to assist you, to deal with any discipline problems that may arise, anything like that, any questions that the volunteers have. And also, all new volunteers are allowed to watch other volunteers. So once you've had training, you actually have an opportunity to just sit back and see how other people are doing it. And when you're ready, then you proceed with taking your own children on.
Well, you've given us a wonderful portrait of exactly how this works and how people can safely come and take a look at the organization if they want to before they get started. But there really is a great need there.
There is, yeah.
So if you are looking to volunteer some time and to really help our youngsters from the disadvantaged communities improve their reading skills, improve their numeracy skills, then you really can make a contribution. The details are going to come up on the screen for the Life Matters Foundation, and we hope that you will be in touch with them. And I just want to say thank you, Sharleen, for being with us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.